Hello, everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw the Sorceress from Masters of the Universe Revelation. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out for myself, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay. Sorceress. Right? Yeah. Sorceress. Sorceress. Look, you know who I'm drawing. You're here. Let's draw. I'm not a good speaker. I'm a drawer. You know what else I'm going to look into? NFTs. What is that all about? Let's talk about some crazy stuff here. The future is different. The future is crazy. And I also do digital drawing. I'm a digital artist. I have a, well, it's not a Wacom. It's a, or Wacom, however you want to say it. It's a, Huion, but basically a coloring tablet kind of thing. So I have that. I have a Surface Pro. I have digital coloring techniques, and that means also digital drawing techniques. So the future is now. The future is different, and the future is possible digital art. It's crazy, which is great because 3D modelers or well, this is how I look at it. I don't know. I'm looking into the whole thing. 3D modelers and digital artists like myself that aren't, it's not a tangible canvas, right? They need to have a way to sell their, if they would like to, sell their skills. And I just think it's neat. I think it's a great idea that you can possibly make a profit off your digital skills if you have some. So yeah, I'm gonna look into that and see what that's all about. Just something just talking about, just if you are drawing by hand, great, that's awesome. Hand skills are super important to have. Let me tell you this. I'll tell you, I know I'm kind of jumping subject here, but I will say this: hand skills is an important skill to have if you're going to be an artist. I'm a graphic designer, so I'm in the biz, and I use Photoshop and build, not websites. Well, I was going to say websites, but not that. Business cards and stuff like that, graphic design stuff. And you would not believe, so being part of the industry, I get to talk to people, you would not believe how many people, how many artists, designers I know that can't draw. They can, walk you back and forth between Illustrator and Photoshop and all that stuff and all those skills, hand skills that they've got, digital skills, but can't draw to save their lives. Crazy. Well, okay, it's not crazy. It's just I did not know that. I did not think that, people got into this without having hand skills. And I guess that's just me. I came into this already as an artist, or already as a person that can draw. And that's why I kind of fell into digitals, because, well, I wanted to say I've conquered, but I haven't conquered. There's no way by the limits of imagination have I conquered drawing. I'm just saying I was ready to take on a new skill and decided I'm going to go into the digital design. So I started learning 3D modeling, went to school for it. And it's great, it's fantastic, But like I said, I had hand skills, so there's a part of me that is not used to hearing that someone doesn't have hand skills. Just because, we all think, well, like, let's say you can draw, right? It makes sense to you. That's why you're here. It's like when someone plays a piano, it just makes sense, right? Well, drawing to you makes sense, and that's why you're here. It just never occurred to me that not everybody can just do it without thinking. Like, you know, not everybody has perfect hand skills. Again, not to, you know, that sounds super braggy by saying I have perfect hand skills. That's not what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say, that it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me that people have the drive and excitement and passion of digital design without having hand skills. Like I said, I just assumed that was your next, like me. I assume everybody's like me. That's what it comes down to. It was just the next hill to climb, the next challenge to tackle of skills, right? But good for you for being here, because again, this is what this is all about, us drawing and practicing and getting better, because obviously you're going to see my mess ups. You're going to see that by no means am I a master at these skills. I know how to get what I need done. That's pretty much it. But again, that's why we're here. That's why we're practicing, you know? Even if this is not what you want to draw, this is not a Jedi Master or a Trooper or something, you know, or King Kong, you know? I mean, you're here and you're drawing, and that is amazing. Or you're here just listening. That's even amazing too, you know? Just brushing up on your skills, or just seeing how I decided I wanted to draw the sorceress. That's great. You are supporting by watching, right? You don't have to be drawing here. As long as you're here just to have a good time, you're supporting me, the rest of us, everybody that's drawing by watching or taking part. You know what I mean? So good for you. Thank you. Alright, let me try to come up with a face real fast. So that means I'm going to concentrate for a second. That'll work. That'll work. So again, sorry, I can start to concentrate here and lose my ability to speak. But just I'm concentrating on what I'm doing just to try to get it right for you, as close as I can to get it right. Trying to make it drawable. Does that make sense? That's not even a word. So let's talk about the sorceress. Are you guys still excited about the show? It's I want to say it's come and gone, just because, you know, once a show premieres, there's so much in our world, so much we're inundated with. This show's now, this show started, and this show started, and this show started, that once it comes out, it's like, all right, next, what else you got? You know, we don't really pay attention to what just happened. You know, Shang-Chi just came out. Done. That's it. And you know, the big build up, and now, okay, what else you got, Marvel? You know, it's like, man, we don't really appreciate or bask in the glory of the things that have been given to us. You know, so what I'm trying to say is, you know, this one came and went, and are people still watching it? Are you still enjoying it? I mean, hopefully you are, because that's why you're here. But it's just crazy how fast we consume, or how much we have on our plate whenever we get to watch all this stuff, right? It's crazy how much we get to consume, or have to try to consume to keep up, right? Okay, I think I'm good with that. I mean, it's a quick sketch that takes care of most of the details. yeah, so I say let me erase some of these sketches, some of these pencil lines real fast, and we'll get going. And what I'm doing is, when I'm first throwing lines down, I'm going for the position, the placement, and the proportions. And I'm just throwing lines trying to capture that. And as I finally start to get more confident with each one of those, I start pressing a little bit harder. So when I'm lightly erasing like this, I'm erasing the sketch lines that were super light and are easily erasable. And what's left are the confidence lines, because they don't move as fast, or they don't remove as fast whenever I lightly erase like this. So we're getting rid of our sketchiness, keeping our confidence, and that's how we're going to live our life. All right? Get rid of your sketchiness, keep your confidence, you'll do amazing things, and I'll be there to celebrate your victories with me. Tell me what you're up to. Tell me what you're doing. You know, someone wanted me to start a Discuss forum, right? Discord. A Discord forum for conversations. Tell me what you're up to. Tell me what you're doing. I mean, even if it's you started a rock polishing hobby, just tell me. I mean, what's up? What's the new Legos you got? You know, what you like? What kind of food? What do you like on your pizza? You know, tell me those little things. Let's celebrate the things you love, right? Okay, I say let's celebrate by getting going. Welcome all the skippers and get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but the pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. Oops. I dropped that. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where I'm going to go. And if you want to see more Masters of the Universe, check out that playlist right there, or just do a search in the playlist in general, because I've drawn so many things that I may have already drawn what you're looking for. So try it out, check it out. If not, give me a shout and I'll see what I can do. I'm going to jump right in with the face. I'm going to draw the lids of her eyes, the top of them, just to see if I've got them level. Sorry if that was a little fast, but I'm trying to get us in there and get going. If that was too fast, just rewind. Good. I think I can live with that. Looks about right to me. This one looks a little droopy-eyed, but we're going to make it work. Okay? So I'm going to draw the retina, the color part of the eye, the roundest part, the outer part of the iris type thing. And then I'm going to hit for the iris, the pupil. Right now, I guess the iris is the color part, right? There we go. Okay, so because this is so tiny, this will probably bleed. I'm not going to draw the entire eye underneath. I'm just going to come back towards the center, kind of imply that bottom line. The color part of the eye, the iris, kind of implies the bottom anyway, so I'm going to use that to my advantage. And I'm going to give her like some little eyelash edges here. Ooh, I just had old man blurry eyes. Crazy. Just kind of thicken up the top part just to kind of give kind of a prettier lash look. Right? I try not to make it cat eyes, but usually once I start hitting it enough times like that, it's gonna just bleed into a cat eye looking eye. So I think I can live with that. I like it, so let me add a little bit of a eyebrow. Something like this. Very simple. Oops, look, that's starting to bleed. Gotta be careful there. Let me thicken up this one, since, like I said, I went too far and added too many lines, so now I'm gonna try to even them out. That'll work. That'll work. I'm not going to draw the bridge of the nose or all that stuff, because that's a nice contour. It's not a hard edge, right? So what I will do is at least draw a little bit of the eye like that, okay? I guess we can do both sides, just like that, but that's it. That's all I want to do. I want to do more, but I want to do that with color. So for the bridge of her nose, the bulb of her nose, the round part, I'm just going to do this. Come in, that's where the nostrils are going to be, the holes of the nostrils. The outer edge of the nostrils is going to be like this. And that's it. Like I said, the rest I'll do with color. The bulb and highlight all that, I'll do that with color. I'm just going to come in here and do the mouth. And again, it's a little small, so I'm kind of limited with the lines I'm going to put. So I'm going to try to draw the top of the lip and leave it hollow so I can color it. Chances are it's just going to be black, because it's going to be so small it's going to bleed into itself. But I'm okay with that. Not too bad, kind of fuzzy. You probably can't even see it at that point, but I can. I can make the bottom lip a little bit bigger. Like that. So that means I can draw her chin straight down the middle, because I just have her looking straight at you. And I'm going to start to thicken up my lines too, because when I switch over to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm trying to match kind of where it's going to go. And plus, it'll help me hide some mistakes too. If you're working with pencil, you don't have to do that. I'm just explaining to you why I draw how I draw. Alright, now, her mask, her headdress, whatever you want to call this, because, I mean, it looks, is it hair? Is it part of her? Who knows with He-Man? With the Masters of the Universe. This is no longer He-Man, this is the Masters of the Universe. There's a correction there. So I'm going to draw the mask, or the edge, where her jawline would stop. So let's go ahead and do that part first. So I'm going to draw the beak, like this. That part's going around. The hardest part is I can't turn my paper. I'm so used to turning it for the way I bend my hands, but it's taped down for the camera, so can't do that. Okay, so I'm going to bring this around about to here. Same thing over here. Down about right there. Kind of a little over where the face is going to be, right? So the edge of her face is back here a little bit, and this is kind of wrapping around to the front. There we go. So that gives me my stop point, so I can draw the jaw up to about right there. But see, I wanted to do that first to establish where it was going to stop, so I don't draw through it on accident. It's a nice plan. Okay, same thing over here. Oops. Again, that's why thickening up helps me from little mistakes, because I can't erase. And it comes out super thick, but again, once you see how thick this is going to be, it's a lot different. It's a lot crazier. Okay, so let's draw the eagle's eyes. I guess the top of the head, actually, so I can draw the eyes. And it's going to kind of got that angry, scowling bridge, and then the eyes are just, oh well, I guess let's draw the beak, right? And then the eyes are inside there. I try to do the same together at the same time, so I kind of can get them close to each other, even though that one's smaller than that. I like to do that as a habit for myself, just to try to keep control of the size, even though it's off. After all that bragging, and it's not even right. Okay, top of her head. I guess not really bragging, all that instruction, and it's still not right. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of her hair feather things. And then I'll switch over to the big Sharpie, but I like using this Sharpie for smaller, fine detail. So her neck's going to be here. She's got a nice long neck. Let's see. And then her see, is it hair? Is it feathers? I don't know what it is, because it's kind of like, it's got tips, but it's hanging off her head like hair. I don't know. It looks cool though. That's why we're drawing it. Okay, and the shoulder is kind of cutting off this part right there. So once I draw the shoulder, I'll continue that. For now, I'm going to leave it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one over here. Do a little bit different. Try to make it like a little bit of a change, you know. I went to school for 3D modeling and also leaned over towards concept design. And my teacher always tried to tell me, he's like, don't make it symmetrical. Mix it up a little bit. Try a little different. Try something else. You know, don't make it perfectly the same on each side, just to give it a little bit of realism. Obviously, mechanics and robots, stuff like that, you know, if it's manufactured, that's a different story. But little stuff like this, he kind of gave me that little nudge of just mix it up a bit, you know, it doesn't have to always be the same looking on each side. Alright, I am super happy with that. I'm going to switch over to the big Sharpie and start with the other details, which is pretty much feather details. So her, like, wings, like wing cape thing is going to be attached right here, right? And then it's going to come out. And you know what? I'm going to draw like her shirt like this. I didn't quite want it as thick as that other line. Okay, and again, this is kind of made out of a feathery type thing, so I'm going to draw her shoulders. And see, now that I have that line, I can finish up the hair. But also, see how thick this is? That's what I'm talking about. These are super thick Sharpies. I use them so you can see better. Or if you want to draw with a Sharpie, it's so you have the same art tools that I have, you know? That way you could just go look in your drawer, ask your family, whoever you're with, say, hey, do we have any Sharpies? I'm sure someone's going to have one. You know, it's something that's all over the house. You shouldn't have to spend a lot on supplies. You can, but you shouldn't have to just to draw with me. Okay, so again, some kind of feathery technique for the shoulders. It's going to be like this throughout the whole thing. That she's got a lot of featherish looks to her design. So that's why I hesitate. That's why I pause when I'm like, is it a cape? Is it feathers? Like what is going on here? All right. Oh, so like I said, now that I did that, I can finish this up. And again, I'm going to thicken up this edge just to try to match or get close to what this was. It doesn't have to be as thick, but it stands out so much if I don't that I like to make it cohesive. Right. Okay, so her hands are just out, kind of holding the wings up, kind of just being there, you know. So let's draw her waist, so you get a feel for where her body is and where the arms are going to be, right? Because it's separated. The arms and the dress are two different things, so I can separate them by a line. Come out here for her chest. Draw her breasts like this into her waist, or into her ribs, I guess. Right? And then I'm going to bring it down here to her hips. I'm going to stop right about here because that's where I'm going to start to split the dress. I guess it's lower. I'll just stop right there anyway, just so we can get a feel for the shape. Okay, hips. Like this. And let me round that off. And kind of put a V in her design right here. In the dress versus sleeves. Now, again, there are some feather looking designs in the pattern. Something like this, but not too much. Something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to draw her arms, and it's basically just anatomy because it's just blue arms. I mean, obviously it's some kind of sleeve, but it's blue arms. So I'm going to draw her shoulders here, into her bicep, into the crook of her arm right there, the opposite of the elbow. We're calling that the crook. I don't know why. Like, it sounds like they're stealing something. Okay, into the elbow, into the forearm, to the wrist, like that. Now, everybody has muscles and whatnot, but I don't like. It's hard. I have a problem with drawing muscles because I want it to be natural. I want it to be toned features, right? Not hard edges, because there's no separation. There is separation, but it's deep down inside. You can't really see as much. So that's my biggest problem with drawing muscles. My challenge with drawing muscles is it's hard, and I just want to try to draw them looking like natural lumps as opposed to a hard cornered edge, you know? Okay, this hand is pretty much just going to be doing this, nothing crazy. You close off that sleeve. Then I'm going to draw the thumb. Then the hand. It's going to be down like that. And I'm kind of doing this, like the three fingers are together, this one's down, just for dramatic purposes, just for something a little more stylized. But that also means that I'm going to clump it together. Right, and then separate the pinky, just in a dramatic fashion, a little bit further this way. A little fat, didn't quite mean for it to be like that big, but hey, that's what happens. That's where we are, right? Maybe I can hide it with a little bit more of a sharper edge right there, or a thicker edge. And then I'm going to add like some hand lines, just to kind of give it some hand features. Okay. All right, the cape's going to come down here. I'm not worried about that right now. We're going to do the same thing with the other arm, just in a different, the opposite position, right? So I should probably open it up, right? So shoulder into bicep, into the crook of the arm, forearm to the wrist. Okay, so same thing. We're just going to kind of bring it in over here, underside, elbow. Oops, that's kind of a big gap. Let me fix that. And then add just a little bit of detail. Again, with the Sharpie. Something like this. And again, that's my challenge, is trying to get that to look right. And still, I'm not happy with it, but with a quick 30-minute video, that's as fast as I can go, or that's as good as it's going to get because of as fast as I'm moving. All right, same thing with this hand. We're going to do kind of the same thing, but not down, just out. So I'm going to close it off, the sleeve. Same thing, come out here to the elbow to the thumb. I tell you, sometimes I say, don't listen to me. Just draw. Don't listen to me. Because I am a drawer, not a speaker. I've said it many times. I'm going to say it until I finish drawing, until the day I hang up my pencils. I am a drawer, not a speaker. All right. Again, a little thick in some parts, but again, that's the price you pay for using a Sharpie, and I will pay that price to help you out so you can see a little bit better. All right, I think that'll work. All right, so let's draw her dress, and then we'll finish up with the wings, the wing/cape afterwards. All right. So the dress, like I said, I'm going to split it right about there, and it's going to go behind her hips here, but split open. So let's draw that split so you see where we are, because we don't have to draw what's behind the slit, right? Okay, so now the hips are going to continue the anatomy right here, but again, this part of the dress is going to go back behind the leg. So you're going to see the leg here. The dress is going to come here, back behind the leg. Then you can actually see the leg going into the knee, something like that. Again, it's back here going through this, so we're just basically drawing the front side. I got to draw down to the boot. Okay, and that's where the boot's going to be. So let's do this side so I can do them both together. But pretty much the same thing. We're going to follow anatomy. Back behind, and then leg. Down to the front of the leg. Calf. Boot. Back behind. So see what I'm saying? You don't have to draw what's behind the dress, which is why you want to draw what's in front first. So you're only drawing so many things that are behind what's in front, right? Always plan it out. Now, again, more featherish type features. So for her boots, I'm kind of following the pattern of the position of where the edge is going to be, and just draw some kind of like it did up here, just some kind of pointed, jagged, feathery type edge. And then I'll add a little bit more detail in a second. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish up the boots, and then I'll add that too. But finish with the boots and I'll add detail. Alright, so this part's coming through here, into her shin. This part, which you can't see, I'm going to pick it up where you can see it and draw it to the heel. Bring that foot down, like this. Okay, this one's a little slightly pointed a little bit more at you. Alright. Not done with that, but we are going to add some small details, like, let's give her some knees. It's crazy how much detail you have in your knees, but if you draw all that detail with a Sharpie, it's going to look funny. It's going to look strange. So I just kind of keep it minimum, do something like this. Because your knee is kind of a strange... I've seen funny pictures where it looks like a person's face. It's crazy. But you don't think about that stuff until you actually draw it, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should have put all the detail in. Okay, so for boots, I like to do something like that, just to kind of add a little bit of crease where the bends would be. All right, just to show the wear and tear on the boot. Yeah, and I think that's good. Oh, I said I was going to add some detail in the boot here. So there's some kind of feathery something, right? For whatever this is. Leg, wing, cape, who knows? So let's finish this up by drawing the cape. And so again, like that, I'm going to add little jagged parts to the way it's going to go. I've got it drawn, so I know the positioning. Oh, before I forget, I'm going to draw the back of her dress, which is hanging down here. We're going to say, normally you would kind of see a little bit of it, but for the sake of the drawing, we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to come in here and do like that. That's where it's hanging down. You can only see that much, right? Here's the back. Same thing here. You can't see any of it because it's just hanging down here so much. Like that. That's all back behind her, right? But you can see between and behind, so we're adding that. Now, back to the big old winged cape. What would you call it? What do you want to call this? Cape, wings. But just know it's like it's kind of attached, it's kind of not. Right? Looks like wings to me. Same thing here. Alright, something like that. But there you go, I was going to do more, but I say we do the rest with color. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is the Sorceress from Masters of the Universe Revelation. So
So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.